Effective Communication Quarter 2 Week 1. Drill Monday, Smart Steps to Grammar Mastery. Tuesday, Spelling Wednesday, Smart Steps to Grammar Mastery. Thursday, Spelling. Our requirements Steno Notebook. First part, lecture. Note second part, activity. Notebook first page of activity. Notebook, metastrips recording. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, students are expected to identify the attitudes, assumptions, and viewpoints expressed in speeches, demonstrate culturally sensitive verbal and nonverbal communication strategies, practice effective communication skills in advocacy campaigns addressing social issues, engage in cultural discussions through active participation in a forum, and assess and reflect on personal strengths and areas for improvement in communication. Drill Smart Steps to Grammar Mastery. Preposition of time 1. My sister was born. July 2. The party is scheduled for Friday. It starts current 7 p.m. 3. I like to go for a run early, to an hour in the morning. 4. She always remembers to send me a text. Björnrock's my birthday. 5. Life was very different back when he was the 1990s. Preposition of place 1. The train is arriving at platform 3. 2. I live in a large city, but my parents live in a small town. 3. The car keys are on the kitchen table. 4. Let's meet at the corner of Elm Street and Oak Avenue. 5. She has a little boat that she keeps on the lake. Typhoon Yolanda, international name Haiyan, struck the Philippines. Speech Nadarev. Yeb Sano, a climate justice activist from the Philippines. Activity 1. Unpacking the message, perspectives in Nadarev. Yeb Sano's speech. Say it like you mean it. Tone and body language exploration. Organize the class into small groups. Ask each group to assign a leader, a secretary, and a timekeeper. Provide a short background of Nadarev Yeb Sano, the former Philippine climate negotiator, before showing his speech on climate change at the UNC OP19 in Warsaw. Play the video from https://youtube.com watch devoured 8YITQ 61XED INC CSLKJP4XWGH_RU4G. Have the groups analyze the speech using the chart below. Say it like you mean it. Tone and body language exploration. Perspective. How does the speaker highlight climate change as a critical issue? Attitude. What emotions or values does the speaker express about the topic? Assumptions. What beliefs or assumptions does the speaker hold about the causes and effects of climate change? Invite a representative from each group to present their analysis. Facilitate class processing by guiding students through the following questions. Guiding questions. What is the main topic of Yeb Sano's speech? How did the speaker describe the situation caused by climate change? What words or phrases did you notice the speaker repeated? What emotions did the speaker show while delivering his message? How did the audience react to his speech? How did the speaker's emotional delivery strengthen the impact of his message? Why do you think Yeb Sano chose to share personal experiences during his speech? In what ways did his assumptions about global leaders influence his call to action? How can recognizing a speaker's perspective, attitude, and assumptions help us critically understand a message? If you were in his position, how would you deliver a speech on climate change to inspire action? main topic of Yeb Sano's speech? How did the speaker describe the situation caused by climate change? What words or phrases did you notice the speaker repeated? What emotions did the speaker show while delivering his message? How did the audience react to his speech? How did the speaker's emotional delivery strengthen the impact of his message? Why do you think Yeb Sano chose to share personal experiences during his speech? In what ways did his assumptions about global leaders influence his call to action? How can recognizing a speaker's perspective, attitude, and assumptions help us critically understand a message? If you were in his position, how would you deliver a speech on climate change to inspire action? Foundations of effective and responsible communication. Foundations of effective and responsible communication, social communication. This is the foundation of how people interact daily. It includes language, the words we use, nonverbal cues, gestures, eye contact, tone, posture, context, formal versus informal settings. Example, greeting a friend with a wave versus greeting your boss with a handshake. Both are social communication, but shaped by the relationship and situation. Foundations of effective and responsible communication. 2. Cultural communication. Culture strongly influences the way we share meaning. It's not just about words, but also traditions and values, e.g., respect for elders, hospitality. Gestures, e.g., bowing in Japan, handshakes in the West. Tone and body language. What's polite in one culture may be rude in another. Example, in some cultures, direct eye contact shows confidence, while in others it may seem disrespectful. 3. Inclusive discourse. This ensures everyone feels respected and heard, regardless of differences. It avoids discriminatory language and encourages equity in communication. Respecting diversity, gender, religion, ethnicity, social status. Using inclusive language, e.g., everyone instead of guys when addressing a group. Active listening to make others feel valued. Example, in a classroom discussion, giving equal speaking time to both outspoken and quiet students shows inclusivity. 4. Ethical discourse. This focuses on values and responsibility in communication. It means being truthful, fair, and respectful in expressing ideas. Honesty, not spreading false information. Respect, avoiding insults, hate speech, or manipulation. Fairness, acknowledging other viewpoints. Example, a debate where students argue passionately but avoid personal attacks demonstrates ethical discourse. 5. Recognizing attitudes, assumptions, and perspectives. Understanding a speaker's mindset and point of view is crucial for critical thinking. Attitudes, emotions or tone, hopeful, angry, passionate. Assumptions, underlying beliefs, e.g., assuming technology always improves communication. Perspectives, the lens shaped by personal or cultural background. Example, when Yeb Sano spoke about climate change after Typhoon Haiyan, his attitude was emotional. His assumption was that climate change intensifies storms, and his perspective was shaped by being a Filipino directly affected by disaster. Lost in translation. Divide the class into 4 to 6 groups. Provide each group with a short dialogue or scenario where miscommunication happens because of cultural differences or unclear expressions. Examples: a Filipino student using yes to be polite but meaning no. An exchange student misunderstanding a hand gesture. A group meeting where one member dominates the discussion while others stay silent out of respect. Lost in translation. Ask each group to analyze the scenario by answering these guide questions. What caused the miscommunication? How did the characters react to the situation? What could have been done differently to avoid the misunderstanding? How can cultural awareness improve the communication? Final word protocol on current issues in the Philippines. The teacher presents a short excerpt of statements made during the Senate hearings on the flood control project in the Philippines. Divide the class into groups of 6 to 8 members. Each group sits in a small circle. Students count off numbers 1 to 8. Student number. 1 reads aloud one-line statement from the excerpt that struck him/her the most and explains why she chose it. Student number. 2 responds to student number. 1's explanation, either agreeing, disagreeing, or adding further thoughts. Student number. 3 then responds to student number. 1's original explanation, not to student number. 2 still agreeing, disagreeing, or giving further thoughts. Final word protocol on current issues in the Philippines. The process continues until the last student responds to student number. 1's explanation, student number. 1 then gets the final word. He or she reacts to the responses of the group, either reaffirming or reconsidering their original point. Next, student number. 2 chooses another line or statement from the excerpts that struck him or her the most and explains it. Then student number. 3 responds to the answer of student number. 2 either agreeing, disagreeing, or offering further thoughts. The process repeats until all students have had a turn. Final word protocol on current issues in the Philippines. The teacher presents a short excerpt of statements made during the Senate hearings on the flood control project in the Philippines. Example excerpts from a senator's side statements, simplified for classroom use. Construction company owners, Pacifico and Sara Discaya, claim at least 17 members of the House of Representatives demanded kickbacks of about 25% of the total cost of each approved flood control project to secure contracts. Source testimony before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, also reported by AP News. Final word protocol on current issues in the Philippines. 2. Former engineer Bryce Erickson Hernandez. Allegation: Senators Jinggoy Estrada and Joel Villanueva allegedly received 30% kickbacks. Estrada, from a 355 million peso flood control project in Bulacan. Villanueva, from a 600 million peso project. Both strongly denied the allegations. 3rd President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Action quote, described the corruption uncovered in flood control projects as horrible and announced plans to form an independent commission to investigate. 4. Representative Elijah San Fernando. Statement highlighted the scale of the issue, citing that over 308 billion pesos was allocated for flood control and water resource development in 1 year, 2025, raising serious concerns about corruption of the grandest kind. Alpha Delta